So, okay, here we are. Alright. Okay, so I'm kind of off my rocker because I only had like 6.5 hours of sleep. Don't know why. Can't sleep well at night because this transition with my job, the way I'm a night owl and all this kind of stuff. So, anyway, we need to talk about Chi Sao a little bit. Chi Sao has a lot of elements to it that needs to be broken down. I want to talk about the pure basics. Say, you know, you got the rolling of the Luk Sao, you got the Don Chi Sao, what have you. One thing in particular that I want to talk about that he touched on in one of his posts is about Chi Sao and then fighting from the Chi Sao, going freehand and back into Chi Sao. It's one of the hardest things to do. I'm going to say why. Here we go. In the Western mindset, we are so freaking competitive that we don't understand the Eastern mindset, which is to go back into the technical nature of things, the natural reason of why we're doing it in the first place. We are a competitive type of people. Everybody in the first world country competitive. So we don't have, and China, mind you, is first world level, but there's more of the Eastern mindset and all that. They don't treat themselves as a first world country. Not when you separate the government from its people and the Eastern mindset, you realize that Eastern mindset is a very humble type of mindset. It's humble to the point that humbleness is even spiritual, okay? Even if they're not spiritual. It's hard to explain that. But, so when it comes to Wing Chun, a lot of these first world countries, including the United States, that's where we're at, we're gonna have to agree. You have to have both students agree that we are not in it to hit each other, okay? The hitting can come later. You can spar, you can do all of that. With Chi Sao, it is the perfection of skill that you cannot get if you was tied to a dummy. That is my real, true definition of Chi Sao. It's not just rolling hands. It's not just the word sticky hands. I know a lot of you about to say, what? No, I'm telling you, I know Chi Sao is sticky hands. We know that part. But the true, actual definition we are to live by is the fact that we are perfecting a skill. We are perfecting our Wing Chun that we cannot normally do had we had the dummy. Does that make sense? I'm not, because, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go through these steps and I'm gonna tell you why. Then at the end of this video, that's when we're gonna talk about Gwoh Sao. So just hold on with me, all right? I'm working through this. Okay. When we talk about double Chi Sao, when we talk about Sun Chi Sao, Sun means two in this case, or not meaning two, but it means double. Thank you. But Sun Chi Sao. When we're talking about that, we're talking about both hands rolling. Okay? We're talking about the Luk Sao aspect. I've heard people use other terms for it. No, it's both. I've heard people say Pung Sao, I've heard people say Luk Sao. It doesn't matter about the term. The question is, can you roll? You know, can you roll?
What can you do?
If you didn't know any Chinese words about Wing Chun, but you can produce the work, can you roll? Can you defend yourself? Can I put this palm up, spade hand up. You know, you don't have to know all the terms of Wing Chun. Can you produce the work? Can you become a genius or a master of the work? That's it. And I won't dispute nobody. You know, does that make sense? So, one thing I like about Jeet Kune Do, I don't know if I told him, he's a Jeet Kune Do guy. He's a Jeet Kune Do guy first. I have to respect that. I put respect on their name. They have a very logical way of talking about Chi Sao. I know they understand it, but sometimes you got a few that be like, huh? Because they won't get it. But either you can be double outside, one hand in, one hand out, or double inside. That's it. I've heard it explained to 4 levels. I broke it in 3 because that main 3, that's all you really need. That's all you really need. And from that point, that's when you understand places and or positions you can be in for Chi Sao to maintain a certain level of work. But it's also this. If we was to connect, this is my Fook hand, this is his Tan. His Fook hand is here, my Tan is here. Alright, so we are in a yin and yang balance. Okay? Now, if I roll, let's stop right here. There are people literally, they'll fight just like this. I had to put my elbow down and they'll fight just like this. This hands on the street matches up with this perfectly. You have people, when you do this can actually represent a fist going like this, and you're covering. If I'm like this in a Tan Sao, there's people that uppercut to the body, uppercut to the head. Please do not tell me anymore that Chi Sao doesn't relate to street fighting. Does that make sense? Chi Sao has always shown you what can happen, even with the switching. And this time I actually mean switching. So if it was right here, if we're at this point and we're rolling, and I do something like this, that represents, and I close my fist for a reason, that represents me trying to do an uppercut. Have you ever had a person that was fighting you like this, and all of a sudden they go, they can do it short or they can do it big, but they'll roll their arms around and try to slip the uppercut. Maybe they have their arms low, they roll around and try to hook. Have you ever had those moments? For those of you that have been in fighting, you should say, heck yeah, I've had those moments. I've had those moments. So that tells you even the idea of even just the Him Sao related into that, or even take it a step further and Jiao Sao. If we was rolling and I'm right here and all of a sudden I disconnect and I do that, Jiao Sao. Simple ideas of Jiao Sao. So first off, what's the question we just answered? Does Chi Sao teach fighting? Yes. Yes, it actually does. And I will take this piece and I even make this on video on the side. So if y'all just only want to watch that, dang it, that's good enough for me. If y'all don't, watch this whole thing because I got plenty of jewels to drop. Always gotta have jewels to drop. If you don't have jewels to drop, don't film. I'm talking to all my people that film and stuff. If you don't have jewels to drop, don't film. gotta have some jewels to drop. You want them to pick up them jewels. Or, heck, that's how you talk about jewels. You want them to pick up them Benjamins off the floor. Drop some Benjamins. Like you're a stripper or something. Anyway, so we have the ton and the fook. My friend Will Hill can roll this ton and go double fook. He loves doing this shit. Like, he loves laying in this double fook for some reason. He likes to chill a lot. Even though this man is on go, I don't know what the heck he is, just bipolar. Anyway, now, and I'm in double ton, right? There's also, please be honest, let's even kick it into gear. At any point, there's even a point of me going to this hillside and now I'm going into Gansao. Sung or Gansao. Sung or Gansao. I'll use that to redirect his hands, I'll get in a certain way or whatever. So please understand that. We didn't do that quite well, but that's okay, we're leaving it in there. But going into Gansao. Gansao is another Chisao aspect. So you don't have to stay in a Tan, Fu, Bong idea at all. Okay? Now, let's make this a little bit more interesting. How do we go from a Chisao to a free hand and back into Chisao? How do you do it? I think, and one of the reasons why I'm feeling it like this, here's the best reason of all. Will, I'm gonna give you some jewels. You ready? Hey, we did this just for action and just for show. It's just gonna look pretty and it ain't gonna be worth a damn. No one's gonna be able to produce it, no one's gonna be able to learn from it, they're not gonna be able to grow from it, nothing. There's some Wing Chun people out there, they're not gonna know this knowledge. I'm gonna be honest, that's a lot of you young guys in Wing Chun, y'all ain't even close. Not even close. And if any of you get to a certain time that you even grow 10%, what did I used to tell y'all, Will? If y'all grow at least 10%, I guarantee you I grow 20. I've grown just as much, the same amount, if not more. Why? I'm always studying. I am always in my shit. I am always developing. I don't quit. I can watch something so simple and I will see something and go, oh my God, the Wing Chun in that. And the next thing I know, I want to produce it. I need to bring it out. I need to grow crops. I need to grow crops. And I need to get rid of the weeds or the bad habits or the bad skill. That's who I am. I am a farmer for this Wing Chun. That's deep, ain't it? I gotta make sure that soil is good and rich. I gotta make sure the rocks are out of the way. So, I need to at least one time, maybe another time next year, who knows? I need to get off into how to do something. Then I can come back and then we can chop it up like brothers or whatever we do. And then it's like, that makes sense. And let the 80, and oh, I'm about to steal this. I'm about to steal this. You ready? Let the 85% deal with the ignorance and how the way the world turns or whatever. And let the 5% be the masters, the rulers. of this. I stole that from 5% Nation.
5%.
I took that for a reason. I'm learning. I'm learning about everybody. I don't want to be ignorant about nobody. If anybody ever says anything about me when I die, they say that dude wasn't ignorant about nothing. He was always trying to learn about everybody. He wanted to create a culture bigger than what these little cliques are. That's who I am. That's what Wing Chun is. We're trying to build bridges in between each other, not just hands. So when you start doing Chi Sao, I want Will to invade, and he's gonna do whatever. Now, this is a good point. Oh man, that's gonna be a cut for action. Oh yes. So look, even though I'm wrong bonging, but hey, it happens. From this point, can we enter back into Chi Sao? Yeah, we can. How? You gotta know your basics in Wing Chun. My bong style so way out there because I wanted to cover. It's ridiculous. But am I covering? Can I change it? Can I fix it? Of course I can. Now, here's the question. How do I get back into that double Chi Sao? Simple. Let's go to the basics of like a Pak Da, right? So I can go Pak Da, and now we're rolling back. You see what I just did? Now, it can be that simple, but here's, like I said, here's the thing. You literally may have to do this. Hey, Will, can we do some Chi Sao? And oh, by the way, I'm not trying to hit you in all this. I need to learn something. As a matter of fact, I need to learn how to get back into Chi Sao from when we disconnect. Can we agree on that? That's it. That's all it takes, because we have to get to that point, because we are, like I said, we are in such a competitive freaking nature that we don't learn crap. That's the truth. We will be too afraid of what the other person is going to do to us, and vice versa. And if we're going to have a bleeding lip and we got to go on a date with some girl tomorrow, like, fuck, I got to go on this date and all this shit. I'm sorry for cussing, but I'm just off my rocker, so I'm going to cuss a little bit more than normal. But you get what I'm saying. Will, my good guy here, he has to stay looking pretty, but can't hurt this face. Can't hurt his hair. Can't mess up this stuff. So
that's why I gotta be on my stuff.
Hey, that's gonna be a blooper. Anyway, but like I said, I'll rock it. But what am I trying to say here? What's the goal in mind, really? We want to establish communication in between both of us. It's just like wrestling. Like when you watch WWE, WCW, all them stuff, do you realize that most of the time they're talking in between each other? They can even have their teeth like this and say, hey, I'm going to sing you to the ropes. Without moving. Hey, we're going to sing you to the ropes. You see my mouth ain't moving? But yeah, they do that. So you have to talk with your person. You have to be able to relate to things. I used to do this all the time, actually, when I was sparring. There was a couple of times I would talk to the guy I'm gonna fight, and be like, hey, let's make this magical tonight. Then we really gotta pummel each other. Let's make this interesting. You're gonna have a couple of times you're gonna hit me and kick me and stuff like that, because I'm gonna put you in this exact place, and I'm gonna do this and do that, and I'm gonna finagle this stuff, and then you do this and do that, and then it's gonna look like some amazing stuff once we get done. And literally, we'll have fights that look like it should have been on some video game, some wrestling game or something, and everybody's looking like, holy crap, we got some champions in the house. No, we just talked. Oh man, I can't tell you. I'm gonna tell you another little secret. You ready for this one? Almost, except for five fights I've ever had inside the martial arts school, I I literally set it up myself. I used to go to the guy and be like this, hey Will, look, I'm tired of holding this championship. I'm tired of holding the crown. You're taking it tonight. This is how I want to lose based off of how you fight. I've been noticing how you fighting. This is how I want to lose. Do you think you can do it and pull it off and be the man tonight? That's how I used to do it. If you don't believe me, I got receipts and names. And we used to go to the back and say, this is how we're gonna fight tonight. Because we want to make sure we look good. I pulled some Ric Flair stuff. It was awesome. Not the slack part. I literally used to do the face plant, everything. It was a thing. If someone got too cocky, guess what? I took my championship back. Oh yeah, and I let them know, oh, you a little bit too cocky. You gonna get yours tonight. You thought you could beat me, you gonna get yours tonight. And I whooped that tail and walk it dry. That's how we used to roll. That was the 90s. Anyway, at least the mid to late 90s. And then, Snoop Dogg, Death Row, all that. That's how we do it. Anyway, so in the roll though, even if I did something like this, I'm stopping for you guys, but we wouldn't be stopping. If we get to the point and I just did this tongue crossing park right here, look, go right back into it. Even if I was right here, you can still do a tongue from this motion, park, right there. And he ended up bomb sign across, I don't know what the heck that was, but it still happened. And I switched and then tongue and through. So, even if I have a move right here, and let's say I come down and try to uppercut, he's gonna stop that uppercut. Now he decides to just throw the elbow low, keep it low. That's actually a good move. I can come back just from something simple as that. There's the moves that you can do that you'll go from a point of something as simple as the rolling with the heel style, and you do like this or like this, and in those moments you try to attack while you try to do that to see if the person will cover. That's actually natural practice. So you may try to attack, but then you're gonna go right automatically into food or turn, wherever position you need to be. Your mind is being put in a simplification method. I don't know if that's the right term, but we're gonna roll with it. So your mind has been put in a simple point where it says maintain the tongue, maintain the food, maintain the bone sound. That's all you actually need to remember. Maintain when you're rolling. Good tongue, good food, good bone. From there, you have to learn timing, the rhythm of how you're going to attack, fight, whatever you do. So if like I said, every time from now on, I hope I make this a standard. Every time you talk with a person you are chi sound with, please go to him and be like, hey, can I talk to you about our chi sound for tonight? Yeah, sure, why not? This time, look, I don't know what you trying to work on, but I'm trying to work on my palms. I want to get better in my palms. Maybe you want to say I need to get better in a certain skill. Because a lot of times people don't talk. I didn't used to talk neither, okay? I would literally go into my Wing Chun class and I didn't care how many times I got hit. If the only thing I was trying to do is get a better Tan style in my Chi style, that's all I cared about. And I went home. I didn't care how many times I got hit. And I'll get hit plenty of times. by Sifu, by his wife, which is also another Sifu, by his son, which is Dana, assistant instructor / Sifu. So, and then all the other students. I didn't care how many times I got hit. I cared about producing my skill. If you will hit, sir, invade, I want you, when you do, knock me back. I want you to get to the point where you attack and I go back. Good! Now, here's where it gets interesting. Pause. In Jeet Kune Do, what they would tell you is the Wing Chun Wu's doing because of the Chi style and all that is in a trapping range. That's a trapping range. If we had stepped back just a tiny bit from where I'm at now, from where I was at, we'll probably be in more of a boxing. Right now I'm in a kicking range. Now I can't hit him, but if I was to step and hit and try to kick, he may try to block. Reason why he ain't doing that is because I'm talking one, but two, trust me, the reason why he would not move, even if it was that close, because that's his Wing Chun. His Wing Chun ain't gonna go for that at all.
You taught me that.
And that's what makes things interesting. I had to take a lot of hits just so you learn that. Anyway, so he's not gonna go for the okie doke. When in other cases, if someone was to kick in this range, someone would be blocking. And there would be no reason. Right? So, mind you, in this case, gum sound, just for the heck of it. Okay. and then this is going, and then because from this point, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna kick, we're gonna go right back in the Chi Sao. So I'm gonna do like a 1, 2, 3 step, and then I'm gonna go back and do it again. Okay. So I can, because I'm not that close to him, I'm going to step, I'm going to kick, there. From his gun sao, I'm going to cover because I don't want it to come back up. I'm going to fan sao, or I'm going to punch right here and go right back in the Chi sao. Go right back in the house. That. So I'm going to go back and we're going to do it again. Not just because I want you to see it again, just because it's going to be an action flick. Anyway, so here, we'll try that again. And really I want us to keep the mistakes in here, please. The reason why is I don't want anybody to say that we don't make mistakes. We do, and we clown. Yeah, we have a good time here at the Hampton Hong Shogun M.A. And don't forget, you can also clown and get down with the Golden Lion Kung Fu Academy. Come on, do your pose. Come on! Do it! Come on! Oh my God! The one time you can do your bow and you don't. Anyway. And there it goes. There it goes. Oh, I'm gonna make him do that golden line bow. That they do is awesome. We're gonna have him do it eventually. God damn it. Okay. So, God damn it, because I don't want to say GD. That's how I do it. So, I went from there. I did a kick. It doesn't matter the kick, really. It does matter how you land as to how good this is going to work. If I just turn my foot a little bit and try to do a side kick from this case, from this point, you can still do it. If I was trying to do a side kick from this place, it's not going to work because I'm too far this way. He's in Chun Q neutral. He won that fight. In Wing Chun, you learn how to side kick even like that. So you gotta pick your battles. So if I'm like this, even if I was side kicking like that, I'm still front face. I'm still sitting down neutral. So, are there any questions to that? And by the way, like I said, I hope, let me get this one last part. That little part is Gwoh Sao. It's Chi Sao, but it's Gwoh Sao. It's also been said as Gwoh Sao. What it means is, once we disconnect from a Chi Sao point, hit me back. Once we disconnect from a Chi Sao point, and we turn into this little fight game here, Gwoh Sao. One side been able to fight and get back in and do this, now we're back to Chi Sao. So the goal is, hey, Will, so when we Chi Sao tonight, I really want to kick off this Gwoh Sao bit, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to learn how to get back into Chi Sao from Gwoh Sao. Can we do that? It's just communication. That's how we get better. That's how we improve. If you're not willing to do that, your Wing Chun will suffer.